Your birthday arrives, but you quietly treat it normal. People look confused, like something inside you is broken. But what if ignoring birthdays signals a different mindset? Today we uncover the psychology productive people rarely explain. Most people wait all year for one special celebration. They expect attention, messages, cake, and sudden happiness. But something strange happens when expectations control your happiness. Your brain quietly links joy with rare external validation. Highly productive people notice this pattern earlier than others. And instead of chasing celebration, they redesign their mindset. What looks like indifference is often a powerful psychological shift, but the real reason behind it might surprise you. The expectation trap. Your brain constantly predicts future emotional rewards from events. Birthdays become powerful expectation engines inside the mind. You imagine attention, appreciation, and a temporary spotlight. But expectations quietly shape how your dopamine system responds. Neuroscience shows dopamine reacts strongly to prediction errors, not simply rewards, but differences between expected and received outcomes. If reality falls short, dopamine drops harder than normal. Your brain begins associating celebrations with emotional volatility. After enough experiences, the brain learns an efficient strategy. Lower the expectation so disappointment stops draining mental energy. Suddenly, birthdays become just another quiet calendar entry. This isn't sadness, it's cognitive energy management. The productivity mindset shift. Highly productive people organize life around consistent progress. Their focus sits on systems rather than occasional celebrations. Daily improvement feels more meaningful than symbolic milestones. So birthdays slowly lose their psychological importance. Think about how productive minds experience time differently. They track weeks through goals, projects, and personal momentum. A random date rarely interrupts a focused mental rhythm. The work itself already provides steady internal reward, while others wait for annual validation moments from society. Productive thinkers generate smaller rewards throughout every week. Progress becomes the celebration, learning becomes the gift. Meaning appears gradually instead of exploding one single day. When focus changes how time feels. Deep focus creates something psychologists call time compression. Hours disappear when attention fully locks onto meaningful work. Weeks blur together when momentum builds across projects. Birthdays simply blend into the flow of productive living. Your brain prioritizes tasks connected to purpose and direction. Dates without practical relevance receive minimal mental attention. It's not rejection of celebration or personal worth. It's cognitive prioritization, working exactly as designed. Many productive people actually forget birthdays entirely sometimes. Not from coldness, but overwhelming mental bandwidth usage. Their attention engine runs dozens of future-oriented thoughts daily. Calendar nostalgia rarely competes with forward momentum. Stepping off the happiness treadmill. Psychologists call another pattern the hedonic treadmill effect. External pleasures create temporary spikes but quickly normalize again. The party ends and emotional baseline returns quietly. Productive thinkers recognize this pattern earlier than most. Instead of chasing occasional emotional fireworks from celebrations, they build quieter systems that generate steady satisfaction. Learning, mastery, and meaningful work compound. Psychological rewards. This makes single events feel less emotionally necessary, instead of forcing motivation through big dramatic moments. Your brain benefits from small habits repeated consistently. That quiet, compounding mindset reflects the philosophy behind quiet growth, where improvement happens slowly but powerfully. Why this confuses other people. When someone rejects birthdays, it challenges cultural expectations. Society assumes everyone craves celebration and attention annually. Seeing someone indifferent creates subtle psychological discomfort. It questions whether validation rituals are truly necessary, but highly productive people already answered that question privately. They don't rely on rare events to feel meaningful. Their identity forms through daily effort and learning, not through applause, during one predictable calendar day. While others count years using parties and social rituals, productive thinkers measure life through accumulated personal growth. Each skill learned quietly replaces another symbolic celebration. The calendar loses authority over their sense of progress. The quiet psychological truth. Ignoring birthdays doesn't automatically mean emotional detachment. Sometimes it signals deeper internal stability and self-definition. You stop outsourcing happiness to scheduled cultural moments and start generating meaning through everyday lived experience. Of course, honesty matters when examining your own motivation. Is it freedom from expectations or fear of disappointment? Only self-awareness can answer that psychological question clearly. But reflection itself already shows emotional maturity growing. Psychological close loop. So the real issue was never birthdays themselves. It was how much power we gave expectations. Productive minds simply reduced the emotional dependency gradually and discovered peace in ordinary days instead. Your life doesn't need one day yearly to feel meaningful. Meaning grows from attention, effort, and quiet self-respect. Once you see this pattern clearly in your mind, you realize ordinary days were always the real celebration.